Let's see what this can do. We have audio. That's good. Audio and video are all good. We're all good to go. We're all good to go. Yes, indeed. Grimmer team, salute. I see you. All right, let me get this chat in the right spot. It's your boy DJ TLM, the last Mohican, broadcasting live from Amsterdam. What's going on? Welcome to Share the Knowledge Live, my weekly Q&A for DJs. Right off the bat, this is going to be a short one because I have a ton of work to do today. A lot of things I'm working on, not just DJ TLM TV, just some other projects as well. Work has to happen. But even though we're going to keep this one short, let's make it a valuable one. That's what this is all about. So again, Share the Knowledge Live, SDK Live, weekly Q&A. Ooh, that's a good one. DJ Z, salute. I see you. As soon as I end this stream, and this is going to be a shorter stream, I'm using this microphone and this Rodecaster to record your shout out. Now that I see your name, it instantly clicks like, hey, I have not done that yet. Jarvis S in the building. Salute. DJ Reese is here. We got Josiah in the building from Cincinnati. What's going on? Reese with the bit straight away. Bang. Loving it. Loving it. And we got DJ Hotspin in the building from Kenya. All right. All right. All right. Josiah Kenobi 7. I see you. Leonzel in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Let me start at that top right there. Really enjoy scratch lessons. I would really like it if you would teach them sometimes using other types of music, like dancehall or Afrobeat. So I assume you're talking about my Saturday sessions. At least those are the scratch videos. That's the scratch content I release in which I scratch over beats. Let me see what I can do with that. Let's see if I can do one of the upcoming Saturday sessions with something like that. The only quote unquote problem is for my Saturday sessions and for my other content on DJ TLM TV on YouTube, I only use my own music. I don't make Afro beats, so I don't have Afro beats. I might still have something that has more of a dancehall vibe to it. So let me just take, in one of the upcoming episodes, I'll try to take something that at least has sort of that dancehall feel to it. Now, when it comes down to it, scratching is the same though. If you're using an R&B track, a hip hop track, a dancehall track, it's all about using your technique, but just vibing, flowing to the music that you're using. So even though I use the same techniques, maybe it'll sound a little bit different when I'm scratching over a dancehall beat, but normally when I'm scratching over, if I do a dancehall set, for instance, and I do some scratching, the scratching I do isn't that different from what I do when I'm scratching over hip-hop beats. But let me look into that, see if I can do that on an upcoming episode. Uchiha in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. And DJ I has a question. What advice would you give for someone looking to expand their reach and DJ outside of their hometown in a different state? Well, first off, the internet. The internet is here, and that can be a great tool to do some research and build a fan base. So, for instance, you DJ a certain style, and you play certain styles of music. You have the option to search, for instance, on Instagram, you could search for hashtags that, at least, how should I say, hashtags that are related to your music, maybe certain artists that you play, but then also search for areas, maybe even specific towns that are around your hometown to see if you can find fans who listen to that music. That is a starting point. Or you could go online and look for venues that are in surrounding towns, find their social media channels, and interact with people that react to their content. And not to spam, but just to become a part of that quote unquote community. That is at least one thing you can do from your very own home, or even not at home, on your phone, which is a good thing. What is happening here? Is that okay? What is that red dot? Am I in record mode? No, I'm not, right? Let me just do a quick check here. I think I was in record mode on that camera, using a different camera for this setup because I was working with the other ones. Yeah, I saw a red dot. Back to the topic. So, I mean, that's one thing you can do just from the comfort of your own phone or home. Look for venues in surrounding areas. Look for their social media. They should have an IG where they're posting, and you can then hopefully see people that actually go to those venues. So that could be a potential new fan base for you that is outside of your hometown. Now, you can do the same thing with different states. So it applies to all of it. There's more ways you could do that though, but that's where you could start. I just want to quickly scroll up again because I think I missed something. Josiah, question about choosing the right DJ pool to gather music. Yeah, shoot, ask the question for sure. And Ree says, let's take DJ TLM to level 6 today. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And again, for the people tuning in now, I said it at the very beginning before most of you were here. I am keeping today's episode short because I have a ton of other work to do. So this won't be a 2-hour episode. But while we're here, let's make sure we share some knowledge. Kujini from Wales, salute. And not a question. I want to say I appreciate all you do. Jarvis, it is my pleasure. It is my pleasure indeed. Oh, I can tell I'm right in front of the mic. You can hear all the plosives. So that's a tip. Like if you're speaking into a microphone during like a live stream or podcast, you shouldn't have it right in front of you because then all of the air out of your mouth is going straight into the microphone. And when I do the P, you're going to get the plosives. Compared to having that mic a little bit to the side, if I do my P's now, you can hear that it's a normal P. You don't hear the P anymore. So I didn't even notice. So that's a quick mic tip, even though that's not the subject right now. You can still hear me, or I need to put my my little protector on there. G-Rack in the building, salute, I see you. Let's see. First off, I want to thank you for all the material you put out. Again, Uchiha, for you as well. It is my pleasure. I have a lot of fun making it. And I have a ton of ideas of content that I want to do. But my first goal for 2022 is just to have some consistency in here and just make sure I'm posting on a regular basis on my social media channels, but most importantly on YouTube, of course. So want to make sure I hit you with plenty of Saturday Sessions videos. I want to hit you with a lot of the breakdown videos, even though both of those are like scratch related. That is really a lot of fun to do. But there's more I want to do. Of course, more product reviews and stuff like that. So yeah, slowly but surely, I hope to not only be consistent, but also give you more. Yo, by the way, who was here on Monday? If you're, let me know in the chat. Who was here on Monday for crates? I have an issue with the sampler on the Rev 7. Sometimes my loaded samples work. Sometimes they have no sound. From Barricade B. Okay. That's weird. And then the question would be, is that the Rev 7 or is it Serato? Yeah, weird. I mean, I don't use samples a lot. I should use it a little bit more. I mean, I have plenty of shout outs that are cool, like a trigger every once in a while, but I hardly ever do it. I think I used it once on the Rev 7, so I can't really tell if the same thing would happen with the Rev 7 when I had it here. I will have it back. I will do more with the Rev 7 though. Big Head 87, salute. You were here. Yeah, man. Monday was fun. It's still there. You can't really see it now. The DJM V10, man, that is a big mixer. It was fun mixing on that, but it's not for me, and that's one thing I could tell. The EQ, yeah, it's not for me. It's great if you really want to go at it on the sonic tip, really have long transitions and really manipulate the sound. I'm pretty blunt when it comes to mixes. So a lot of times when I do my transition, I just want to take the low end out, bring it back in. With this one, that doesn't really work. You have to take out the low, but you also have to take out the low mid in order to make that work. Yeah. So it was cool. Hey, I'm going to turn my lights up a little bit more. I think this is a little bit too dark. I wanted to keep it kind of dark, but this is a little bit too dark. So let me just add some to the main light. Saying Saha salute, and who else? I missed a couple of names, I think. T-Bab salute. And yeah. There we go. Let's just do that. Nice harsh light. How do you feel about crate hackers? I still have to look into that. I remember seeing the interview. Cleveland Terry did an interview, and I didn't look into it then, and I haven't looked into it since. So I can't speak on it, but it is on my list to take a closer look at. That is for sure. And saying so, I wanted to know, how do I get well-paid gigs in my city and continue the journey? I've been struggling for 8 years now. When I started out, I got a residency, but I left as I had to finish college. So, okay, so you were DJing, then you had to go finish college. And after that, I mean, you say you've been struggling. Does that mean that you just aren't able to get gigs at all? Because you did score a residency. So what happened after you finished college? You wanted to get back into it. Is it just hard to get gigs? Is that the thing? Mixmaster G in the building, and Costa Rica is here as well. I see you, DJ Costa Rica. And yeah, Reese, it was fun on the V10. I mean, I don't mind just throwing myself. That's too much. I didn't throw myself into the deep end. It was not that much of a transition from like the normal mixers I use, but it is kind of stepping out of your comfort zone, because with that mixer, like just the fact that you have like at least like 5 more knobs in every single channel strip. It is, there are way too many buttons and knobs on that mixer for me. So you are stepping a little bit out of your comfort zone. And I love doing that for the live stream. Like, that's a great place for me to test that. I wouldn't like automatically just play on anything if I have to do an actual gig. I could, but that would not be my choice. Like, if I have a gig, that's not my place for experimentation. But the live stream, I think, is perfect for it. And yeah, I mean, that V10 is going to be out of here tomorrow, so I'm glad I did the live stream. Otherwise, it would have just been in my studio. I would have probably played with it for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe find another 20 minutes somewhere, play 1 or 2 tracks, just mess with some knobs, and that's it. By just using it for a live stream, now I have 2 hours of actual experience playing with it, and that tells you more. Even though, yes, there's a lot of features that I didn't properly test all the way. You're going to need more time for that. But I could already tell, like, okay, this is not the mixer for me. I don't need that much. Even with my 909 back in the days, I mean, that thing had 50 effects. And you had 2 effect processors in there, so you could have one of the 50 effects on one channel, on a different one on the other one at the same time, or even 2 on one. And that also had like that you could choose to have your effects on everything, or just the high, mids, lows. You could choose all of that. I didn't use or utilize that a lot. For me, it's all about, I mean, having a normal EQ, having a great crossfader, and the onboard effects. And even with the onboard effects, I don't use that many. But yeah. Josiah, you say you mix with the XEJ-RR. I actually just happened to see, and well, I didn't get to use it, but I was at a store yesterday. This was like a big type of department store, and they had like this small section with like just a DDJ 400 and an RR next to it. That was actually my first time like touching that RR. No music was loaded, so I couldn't really like test it, but it's a cool device. That looked pretty dope. I have to admit, I've seen it on pictures, but seeing stuff like in real life is a different experience. Yo, real quick, let me just see if I missed something. Real quick. Before we continue. Yeah, the crate hackers, I saw that. We'll talk more Say and Saha if he gets back about the struggle. Kujini says, are you updated to the latest version of Serato? Try rolling back. Yeah, I guess that's for the Rev 7 sampler question, right? So if you are on the latest version of Serato, maybe you have to go back. Then again, if you go back to the previous version, I don't think you can use the Rev 7 then, because the update allowed you to use the Rev 7, or did they do an update after that? Because the Rev 7 did need like that latest update, the latest version. So that could be a tricky one, but I'm not sure. What? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading. Uchiha, you messed me up for a second. And I don't know why my mind went to food. For a second there, I thought I saw something like Serrano, like the Serrano ham, but no. You just wrote Serato, but in a different way. But you're talking about Serato, the software, right? Got you. And reload the sample. The sample didn't convert to the software correctly. Reload the sample. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like the person says, sometimes the loaded samples work and sometimes there's no sound. Sayansa says some tips on how to get hold of artist managers and headlining DJs. How to get a hold of artist managers. So if you're looking for you're not looking for a manager, but you're looking for managers who manage headlining DJs and artists. Most likely you'll find that information on the artist or the DJ's information page, wherever that is. If that's like their social page or an official website, they'll most likely have some contact info, and management is probably going to be on there. Bookings and management for most artists will probably be listed. So that's going to take some research, but start by just looking at that artist's or DJ's page or website to get a hold of their managers. What's a great way to mix pop EDM and keeping a dance floor? Matt Professor, what's going on? I experimented with switching the drops. Are there other techniques to try? Switching the drops. Could you explain how that works, switching the drops? I mean, I understand drops in EDM, but like if you're mixing pop music doesn't really work with drops, I would say. And I mean, a great way to mix pop and EDM. Look, if you're using different genres, some genres will mix together, either because they have just a similar tempo or just vibe. But if you're dealing with like different vibes, I don't really know how to I don't know how to define or what you mean when you say pop. But if I was playing a genre that's really different compared to like some house music, I would not be mixing back and forth. So most likely I would do a set of like a couple of tracks or 10, 20 minutes, maybe even of like a genre or pop, then take it to EDM and play that for a while, and then maybe switch genres. And for that one switch between genres, you could use any type of technique. That could be something like just an echo and switching, or you say switching the drops, and that's a technique that works for you. So I'm not sure how switching the drops works, but if that works for you, then that is a technique you can use for sure. But I wouldn't be going back and forth too many times between that. Mixed with the R, which I love. Yeah, like I said, it looked very cool. You can never have enough. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, if we're talking about that mixer, for sure. Danny, what's going on, Danny? Do you think Beat Source Link is good for club DJs to get sets and new hits? I think BeatSource Link is great indeed. I love using it, and I use it for the live streams a lot. But I've used it for a couple of live gigs. I mean, I had close to no gigs in the last 2 years, but I actually did use it when I had the chance. And I mean, I love having it for access to stuff that I don't have in my normal music collection. Absolutely great for that. Yeah, Mixmaster G, that's what I thought. Like Rev 7 is only the latest version. So going back a version is not going to help you with the sampler issue with the Rev 7. That's why I asked. I wasn't sure if maybe they already did another update. T-Babs is still rocking the 1000 SRT. That's still a great controller indeed. Chris on the mix, salute to you. Ian Casanova is here. What's going on? What's going on? And I have to DDJ SR. The problem I have is the fader always seems to go out. Am I too rough on the fader, or do you think it's a common issue? It goes out. In what way does it go out? Are we just talking about the fader cap coming off? Is that what you mean? Otherwise, I'm not sure what the fader goes out means. And if it's the fader cap that's coming off, then, I mean, maybe you are rough, but I've had that experience with a lot of mixers in the past. And I used to try all sorts of things. Like I would like take a little bit of tape and put it around the crossfaders most of the times, like the little metal, how do you call that? Like the actual metal piece of the fader that's sticking up, and the fader knob is on top of that. And if the fader cap is coming off, then maybe it's just not on there sturdy enough. And by adding like a little piece of tape and then putting the fader cap on, it would stick better. That helped sometimes because, yeah, man, I've been in the club. And maybe this is not what you mean, but this is what I'm thinking about now. I've had it happen in the clubs too many times that I was a little bit wild. Because especially if you're doing cutting and maybe some backspinning, you are wilder than a regular club DJ. And man, in a dark club, in that dark DJ booth, when you do a movement and that black fader cap flies off and now it's somewhere in the DJ booth on the floor, I've had it happen at least 2 or 3 times that I mixed for at least 15 to 20 minutes without the fader cap being on, and between every transition trying to find that fader cap, especially going back to the days when we didn't all have flashlights. And after it happened like a couple of times, I started to pack an actual flashlight in my DJ bags just for those occasions. Nowadays, of course, again, we always have a flashlight, so it won't happen again. Or at least I'll find it easier. But man, that brings back memories. I think I even have a video up on, I have a video on my old YouTube channel, on my DJ TLM YouTube channel. And I think, I have no idea what the video is called. I think it's a practice video and I'm doing like scratches or backspins. And during that, on video, that fader comes off. And then I continue for a while without the actual fader cap on as well. So yeah, it happens. So if that's what you're talking about with the fader going out, then yes, we might be a little bit too rough. But the solution is just to try to find a way to make the cap stick better. And a piece of tape worked for me. I also tried to just, when I was in the club and I didn't have tape, I would grab any little piece of paper and try to put it on there and get that cap back on. Doesn't always work. I mean, you can't glue it on there, especially with the mixers I had, because sometimes you would have to take the deck plate off. And to take the deck plate off, you had to take all the knobs and the fader caps off. So I couldn't glue my cap onto the crossfader. Let's see real quick, because I think, oh yeah, this already continued. Damn it. I do chops when it's EDM or house or dub. I'm afraid I don't know what that means. Pop EDM, I mean those crossover tunes like Where Have You Been by Rihanna. Okay, got you. Yeah. So basically pop artists with like EDM production. Okay. Do you use do you use Tidal is the question, I think. Yeah, I have Tidal. I have a Tidal account. I've also used Tidal for DJing, even though I haven't used that in a while. Like BeatSource is the main thing for me when I'm using it in DJ software. But Tidal has basically everything. It's just that they don't have not just the playlists, but also just the way you can search for tracks in BeatSource works better. But I've also talked to people who like to play certain styles of music and BeatSource didn't have it or didn't have it yet, and then they went to Tidal for that. So it is a great source for music. My bet on rollback. I think I missed something. All right, I'm going to continue. We'll get back to that. If I miss your question, you can always just ask it again, just in case. Mixed in key helps a ton with analyzing tracks. Yeah, it works well for analyzing indeed. Hotspin has a problem every time I try to stream on YouTube. Any tips on how to stream? And the problem is just the copyright issue with YouTube, because that is the problem we all have indeed. Sean says, is the DDJ 1000 with turntable comfortable? Is the DDJ 1000 with turntable comfortable? I haven't used the DDJ 1000 with a turntable. I mean, I've used a large controller with turntables, and first off, I don't have the room for that here, so it won't fit. If you have the space, I mean, it's a setup that can work, but I haven't done that with the 1000. I have a problem streaming my sets on YouTube. It doesn't stream at all. It doesn't stream at all. So what the stream is not working? Can you explain your setup, Hotspin? How are you connected? What's your setup for streaming? Yeah, what's your setup for streaming? Let's start there. Cucini, yeah, indeed. When we broke down the old booth to build a new one, should have seen all the switches we found. Yep. Steve Mix, what's going on? I appreciate you. Yes. Do you have Mashup DJ sessions recorded? Love Mashups. Yours must be amazing. So the funny thing is, I almost never do mashups. And last week's live stream, so Monday a week ago, was only mashups. My folder was only had instrumentals and acapella, so I couldn't play songs. I had to mix acapellas and instrumentals. So I did a 2-hour totally freestyle mashup set. That is, you can watch the video replay on Twitter, twitter.com/DJ TLM, and I'll have the audio up on Mixcloud. That's going to be in a week. I'm running behind again. But yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So like on the fly, just grabbing stuff, looking at stuff that had a similar BPM. So at least it's in the same BPM range, and then just mixing. And some of those worked, others did not work at all. It also has some acapellas in there from songs that I know, but once I was using the acapella version, I could just tell like, hey, I actually don't know the song well enough to hear if the acapella is in there correctly. To my ear, sometimes it sounded as if the flow could have been off, but because I didn't know the song well enough, yeah, it didn't really work with some of those songs. That's why it's so important. If you're doing mashups, you need to really know the music, because the acapella is for songs that I did know, like well, that I know the flow. Then it's not an issue at all. I can just throw it in and I can keep adjusting until that flow is right. And it was a lot of fun to do. So yes, that mashup session is recorded. You can watch it on twitter.com/DJ TLM. last week's episode. So that is Crates episode 53, if I'm not mistaken. And that will be up on mixcloud.com/DJ TLM soon. Okay, Uchiha. What I mean is when the faded Roselle matter what side you switch into unless you hold it. You can't hear from deck A or B, which means cut song impossible. Oh, I'm trying to follow. Give me a sec. Let me scroll up, Uchiha. Let me see your last one, what you were saying there. SR, no problem. The problem is the fader. It always seems to go out. Yes, so the fader always seems to go out. And you mean no matter what side you switch, unless you hold it, you can't hear deck A. So either you're saying that your fader is leaking, that you always hear both tracks, or you're hearing none of the tracks, which would really be a problem indeed. This sounds like it's just a defect. So something is wrong with your fader, most likely. And if it's a defect or just malfunction, I mean, that's not something I can give you a tip for. It sounds like it's just not working correct. And T-Babs, yeah, that's a good point. Like Tidal doesn't have the offline mode, and they're not going to have an offline mode. No. And that's a big difference for some people. Like if you go to a gig, so for instance, if I'm going to do a gig and I'm going to have a BeatSource crate playlist, so I'll have my own music on my computer, but if I'm also adding like a BeatSource crate, I'm putting it in my offline locker so that if I get to the venue, if there's any issue with the internet, I'm still going to be safe. Even though we have a pretty good situation here in the Netherlands with the venues, like most of the times you'll have a great internet connection. And I haven't had any issues using BeatSource in clubs, but the offline mode is that safety feature, especially if you're doing a gig and you're not sure how the internet connection is going to be. And Tidal and SoundCloud can't do that for you. And yeah, when it comes to streaming on YouTube and copyright issues, there's just not really anything you can do. Now, saying that, I know that Digital DJ Tips put out a video and they had this great tip. Not for me though, but a great tip for some of you, how to prevent your stream from being taken down. And their tip was to take all of the songs that you're going to play in your set, put just a part of that song, make like a long file with all of those songs in there, upload that file to YouTube. Just don't make it public. YouTube is going to scan that and it's going to let you know if there's songs in there that are copyrighted. So then you can take those out and replace them. It was something like that. So yeah, sure. If you have a prepared set, you know exactly what you're going to play and you want to go through that, like making that file with a part of all those songs in there, upload that and see if they're all safe to use, you could do that. It's not going to really work for me. I play freestyle. I don't really know what I'm going to play. And I'm definitely not going to go through that every time of making that entire file with all of the songs and upload that first to check. Half the times I'm doing my live stream, I'm just grabbing a folder right before I go on. So I don't have the time for that. And to be honest, I think it also depends on the music you play. I think, for instance, the homie Mojax has his Progress live stream, and that's progressive house. And I think he always has the replays of that uploaded to YouTube. And I don't know, I haven't checked, but I know he uploads them all. So that seems to be working. I know with hip hop and R&B, I always have the issues. Like for some of you who've been around longer, you know, for a while, I started to do the live stream on YouTube as well. So I was doing it on Mixcloud and Twitch, and I added YouTube, but not DJ TLM TV. I did it on DJ TLM, my old channel. And after every live stream, my inbox would have 60 to 80 emails from YouTube with copyright claims. So basically all the songs I've played. And anytime I stream on Twitch, sorry guys, the screen just went out. I saw it happen and still I didn't react. That's stupid. So every time I stream on Twitch, after I'm done, the replay of my stream, I can see it. And most of the stream is muted due to copyright. So I know a lot of the music I play with the hip hop and R&B I play is not going to be without the copyright issues. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't stream. So for instance, on Twitch is no problem to stream. It's just the replay won't work. So I'll delete that. But the live stream itself works perfectly. YouTube, to a certain degree, works, but some songs will just get the video blocked. And at a certain point, I just got that warning, which was not a copyright claim, but a violation, policy violation. So that was it for me with YouTube. I'm not jeopardizing anything on YouTube. Let's see. What's your thoughts on switching from SL1200s and a mixer to a Rain 1 only? My thoughts? Sean, I don't really have thoughts on it. That all depends on what you need and like. So for me personally, it wouldn't work. Not because I couldn't play with something like a Rain 1, which I hope to finally test soon, but because I have all of this vinyl here. So I'll always need a set of turntables to be able to play my vinyl. Is it a replacement that could work for people who just want to have that motorized feel? For sure. Like a Rain 1, a Rev 7, an NS7. I mean, those will give you a turntable feel without having to have the turntable set. So if you don't have vinyl or you don't want to play vinyl anymore, something like that could work for sure. But I mean, beyond that, I don't really have thoughts on it just because it's not going to be an option for me. Now, I want a Rev 7, but that's not going to be a replacement for my turntables. I just want that as an option because I love playing on it. But then, just for instance, just for my monthly all vinyl stream, I'm pointing here, but you can't see it. But you know, I have the vinyl here. Just do my monthly vinyl stream, I'll need a set of turntables, and I love doing that. Oh, let's see. And I got to check the time because I really, really have to keep it a little bit short today. Let's see. Yeah, that's 53. Got you. How do you feel about a DJ using sync to sync two PMs together? I think the B is missing, right? The BPMs. How do I feel about that? Okay, so we're all about thoughts and feelings today. I like that. I have no feelings about that. That's it. If a DJ wants to use sync to sync two tracks together, to sync the BPM, use sync. If you want to do it by mixing by ear, like I do, mix by ear. That's it. I have no extra feelings about that. Like some people will. Like they'll see someone use sync and they'll have an opinion. I don't have an opinion. That's what they do. And it's not what I do. And there could be occasions that maybe I feel like, hey, today I'll use sync, but that hasn't happened yet. No, that's not true. I've actually done a set with sync, and that was when I was mixing. I did a live stream on my iPad. Not really by choice. It was the only option. So I did a live stream. I was using Algorithm DJ with Beat Source Link as the music source on my iPad Pro because I did not have access to the equipment and I wanted to do a live stream. Now, in that case, sync was the perfect solution because on an iPad, beat matching by ear without having that tangible controller and platters to nudge was just not going to work for me. And this was just the perfect solution. Just sync it, load the tracks, try to do a little bit of scratching on that iPad, and that was it. I mean, I can't see myself ever spending any ounce of energy, any percentage of my brain capacity thinking about what another DJ uses to match the beats. Use what you want to use. DJ Vinyl Touch 87 is here. A good day, a good day. Guys, just so y'all might want to know, this person, along with a few others, my first online free DJ mentor, and man, with the guidance, I learned how to scratch, which I wanted to learn way before I started to learn DJing. Oh, see, I wasn't even, it took me a second to comprehend you were talking about me. Saying I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate that, but I just love hearing it because it's great to know that what I do can help someone. So that's dope. That's really dope to hear. Has anyone tried or used Mixed and Key Mashup PC or Mac app for producing your own mashups? So Reese, let me try that. Let me try that out very soon. I have not. So I'll look into that. Yes. Oh, Vinyl Touch for real? Virtual DJ released their support for the Rev 7? Okay. That's nice. Let me see. Let me see. Where can you actually see that? Is that going to be in the community? Anywhere here? Oh man, that's way too much. I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, I thought maybe I can easily find it. Okay. Cool, but kind of weird indeed that they have the support now. And a Record Box doesn't yet, but okay. In addition to how to live stream prepare for YouTube, YouTube can copyright strike a video up to 6 months after broadcasting. So the method upload songs under picture will work, but isn't waterproof. Oh, Mixmaster G, I can tell you it can be way longer than 6 months. I sometimes still receive emails from YouTube with copyright claims for videos on my DJ TLM channel. And I'm talking about videos from like 10 freaking years ago that I see that, like, I see the email and at first I'm like, wait, what for? Then I see it for my old channel. And it's like one of my old just mix videos on my old channel. So, yo, way beyond 6 months. And that's a point. And I remember even that a certain DJ or somewhere they were talking about it, that DJs would ask like upcoming artists for permission, and then they would get permission, but then afterwards that artist would sign to a label, and then that label still adds the songs to the content ID, and then you can still get flagged by YouTube. So yeah, I don't think there is any like foolproof way to do it. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Like even that method can work for now, but it's not like foolproof for sure. Mick P, what's going on? And we got Julio Martinez in the building. Salute. Is there a good place for vintage gear besides eBay or Reverb? Looking for a Vestax PMC 37 Pro? Wow. I'm gonna look that up. I don't even know that one. I think maybe if I see it. The 37 Pro? Sounds like it's one of the bigger mixers, but maybe I'm totally mistaken. Let me see. Oh, wow. So that's a three channel. And the EQ is, oh, wait, I've seen this one. It has like the EQ is actually like a 3-band little fader EQ thing. All right. So chat, does anyone have good tips where to find vintage DJ gear besides eBay or Reverb? Yeah, Ian Casanova. I mean, yeah, we talked about this before, like Jazzy Jeff. That it seems as if he has like that freedom. Now, I know for a fact that labels can white flag a channel. And I don't know if they have to do this for separate songs or if they can just white flag a channel. So that means that that channel can use any of their content. I have no inside information, but the fact that Jeff does all those streams on YouTube makes it seem as if he somehow has like has been given permission to do that. But I'm not sure. But I know that there was a song. There's a song, and I was a part of that song, and I used that song, and then I got like a strike. Was that on my YouTube or on my Instagram? Ah, damn, I'm not sure. Anyways, the fact is, it got flagged for copyright. I talked to the artist, and then the label like white flagged it, so I could use it. So there is some sort of option for them to do something like that. But then again, Jazzy Jeff is Jazzy Jeff, and we're all not Jazzy Jeff, so we're definitely not going to have the same treatment as Jeff. Same thing that happened with D Nice when he started to do the stream on Instagram that blew up. I mean, you had everyone from Michelle Obama to whoever in there. And that stream didn't get cut, and his stream didn't get cut. Now, is that like inside hookup things going on? I don't know. But the fact is, some people get kicked off and others don't. Is that just a random thing? I mean, I don't think it can be. But no, there's no DJ license that'll allow you to play on YouTube. I've never heard of such a thing. I don't think that exists. How do you feel about that new Mark controller for requests? The new Mark controller for requests? I think I missed that. Which one is that? Let me know which controller that is. I don't think I'm. Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar to me. Can we connect two DJ controllers to one software and mix with them? Ooh. No, I don't think so. I mean, I haven't seen that. I mean, connecting two computers to one controller, we've seen that. Like plenty of controllers and compatible mixers will have like two USB ports, so two computers can be connected. And then you can switch the knob to choose which laptop or computer works with the controller. But two controllers in one software, now maybe it can work, but you'll probably have to, I mean, no, let's put it like this. A Mixmaster G will probably jump in. I could imagine that you can connect two controllers, and you would probably have to MIDI map the software to react to certain things. But for instance, I don't think you could be able to have two controllers connected and that both of the crossfaders can control the crossfader. That can probably only be one at a time. My knowledge of MIDI is not like, I don't have enough knowledge to know everything about that or to know if there is a possibility. But I think with mapping, you might be able to connect more controllers and they can all control some parts of the DJ software. But I think that's it. I use the tempo fader and sync button if they're off by a little. Okay. Algorithm DJ has one of the greatest syncs on the planet. No other DJ software can do what that stuff does when it comes to the auto grid and acapella and keep it in perfect phrase with an instrumental. I mean, it worked great for me when I was using it with that iPad. I know that. Like, it worked wonders for me. And like I said, if you're in a scenario like that without a controller, I'm not gonna try to nudge on an iPad. And I don't like working with like the plus and minus buttons to do the nudging. So this was a perfect way for me to actually have time to play around with neural mix and do stuff like that. What's the biggest piece of advice for someone who's starting, who's just starting out the DJ? So, Style Apaka, let me know, what stage are we talking about? When you say starting out as a DJ, are we in the stage that you just got some gear and you now need to learn how to DJ? Or are you talking about you've learned how to DJ and now you want to start going out to DJ, like actually playing places? Let me know. So what stage are we talking about? I was planning to do a really interesting stream. Same collection of DJ software switching Mac, but then Apple released an update that required my immediate attention. Okay, so Mixmaster G, can we expect upcoming Tuesday to be about using the same collection of DJ software switching between Mac and Windows? Could that be something for next week? And Fleb Boiteau has a question. The question is, do you have back pain, foot pain when DJing for a long time? And if yes, what's your remedy? The remedy for me is very, very simple. Julio Martinez, salute. So to answer your question, yes, I have had a lower back issue. This was years ago. A lower back issue at a certain point that my back started to cause me some issues. And my DJ sets were mostly at the proper height. I mean, that is an important one. Otherwise, it's going to go, you're going to get issues faster. But even with the proper height, if you play a lot of gigs, and especially then I was doing a lot of like 4-6 hour sets, or playing all-nighters with another DJ. So a lot of standing, and you can't start to feel that. Now, foot pain, I didn't have that really, unless I had on some flashy new sneakers that I just bought that day, and they were just totally not worn in yet. That could hurt your foot maybe. But no, the solution, the remedy for the back pain was actually really simple in my case. I needed to work out. I remember having the back issues, the little back aches. I started to work out, and that was the end of issues. You need to strengthen your body, especially your core and your back need to be strong. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. So for me, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice, but for me, that was the perfect remedy. And let's just be honest, if you have a stronger core, stronger back, chances of having like injuries or just pain are going to decrease. You're going to have less issues. So for me, that worked perfectly, and I didn't have back issues after that. Let's see. The best advice I got was be original with your mixes. Don't bite anyone's style or combos. Okay, that's the advice for a DJ who's starting out. Let's see. Leonzo says Amazon. Is that an answer for the vintage gear? Because I haven't heard. Does Amazon have a secondhand market? Because like that Vestax mixer is like super vintage. That's not a new thing. Okay, Costa Rica says Twitch does mute Jazzy Jeff's replays. It happened just today. Okay. And I have seen Twitch. Yeah, so on Twitch, okay, so maybe it's a YouTube thing, because he does have his streams there. But then again, like I said at the beginning, like I have no inside info there. Tapiwa's in the building. I have a DDJ SB3, and I use it with Virtual DJ. Any tips on how to change or remap controller buttons? Tips? Well, not really. I mean, you should be able to map it. Now, there could be custom mappings available for that. So you could just Google that, like custom mapping for Virtual DJ SB3. See what comes up. DJ B Naftol. I love it. Great. I mean, it's great that I could help. Real Kev in the building. What do you think? What's the minimum bit rate for MP3s when you play on a high-end PA, which you find in normally find in clubs? I'm a fan of 320. Do you think 128 is too? Yeah. No 128s. So my minimum is 192. 320 would be better. So I mean, if I look at my MP3s. And I mean, most of mine were at least 192. And I think like 6 months ago or something, I just went through my collection. What's the software again? I put it in MP3 tag and looked for all the 128 files, and I just deleted them. Didn't even look what it was, just deleted them all. So I have a lot of 192, 320, and some 260, 256 in there. So yeah, 320 would be the greatest, and 192 is my minimum. Let me check the time real quick. 9:10. So I'm gonna try to catch up real fast and wrap it up because I do have to really keep my show shorter than normal. I can't do the 2-hour show. Too much work going on. Mike Lewis, what up? What up? Salute to you. I see you. And Danny Bays is here. Danny Blaze in the building. What's your advice on how to go about getting a DJ manager to try to get more gigs? I'm not sure if getting a DJ manager is the thing to do to get more gigs. I can only speak from personal experience, and things might be different in different places in the country, in the world. But my opinion would be that having a manager is something that becomes an option or interesting when there's a lot that needs to be managed. If you don't have gigs, I don't think a manager is going to get you gigs. That's what a booker would do. But even if we're talking now about booking agencies, most booking agencies are only there to just manage the bookings. They're not actively looking to book you. Now, what can happen if you're part of a booking agency is if they get approached for because someone wants to book a certain DJ that's on their roster and that DJ is not available, maybe they'll try to push other DJs that they have in their stable to see if they can like get a booking for another DJ. But I have experience with booking agencies, and what I found is that all they did was answer the phone. I was still the person bringing in most of the bookings because I was actively in contact with people. And then I would find bookings. Then I would have to send them to my booking agency to handle it and pay them a freaking 15% fee for the booking when I was the person getting the bookings. So they were not actively getting me bookings. A manager is, it can become interesting. Like if you have a lot of business going on and you need someone to handle your business, to communicate with promoters when you got booked, to make sure everything is okay. If you're not getting a lot of gigs, like I said, a manager is not going to solve that. Now, having said that, maybe you can find a young, hungry person who just finished their, nowadays you do have all sorts of like music related education. And you have people who actually study like music management and stuff like that. Maybe you can find a young, hungry person who wants to gain experience, who's willing to try to do something with you. And because they're hungry, they're going to be actively trying to get you business. I just don't think that's how it works. And beyond that, so I don't have advice. So even if you need a manager now, I don't have advice on how to go about getting that manager, because I don't have one. I think one of the things I would possibly do if I found myself in a situation where I thought I needed a manager is, of course, I would talk to some of my colleagues. Now, it all depends on if you know people who are in that situation. So I know plenty of DJs who are successful to very successful to very, very successful. So I have people that I could at least ask, like, hey, who manages you? or how do you work, and they could possibly shed some light on it, share some info. Maybe their manager or their manager could hook me up with a manager, because most likely that manager will know others. So that's how I try to get my information, but I have no specific advice beyond that. All right. Yeah. Okay. Josiah, the Mixstream Pro. No, I haven't tried it yet. So I'm supposed to, and there were a lot of delays, but I'm supposed to receive a Mixstream Pro and a Rain One to test them. And that was supposed to happen like 2 months ago, but then the warehouse where that stuff is stored was moved. So they're now up and running. So I'm in contact with InMusic to make that happen. So hopefully, like in a couple of weeks, I will have a Mixstream Pro finally to test it. Let's see. No, the software can run 2 controllers. You would have to have a strong computer to do that. So I mean, not to be picky, but just to clarify, a computer doesn't run a controller. A controller controls software on a computer. So a computer doesn't do anything to the controller. The controller is basically a piece of like metal and plastic with knobs and keys, and whatever you press through USB, the signal gets sent to the computer, and then the computer has to do something. So that's why they are called controllers. They are controlling what's happening on the computer. But still, like I said, I don't think you could have 2 DJ controllers connected and that the crossfader on both of them at the same time can control the one crossfader in the DJ software. But I haven't tried it, so maybe this is possible, but I think that's going to cause issues. I haven't seen Mixmaster G about that. Like, I'm always looking to Mixmaster G because I know that he's a tech freak who tries a lot of things, or has tried a lot of things. Artist got power. I remix Taylor Dane's Tell It to My Heart and send it to her thinking she may like it. And next thing you know, YouTube shut my channel down completely. What? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's, I mean, on the one hand, you could say that's probably one of those examples where, I don't know the translation. It's something like you don't want to wake the sleeping dogs or something like that. But like, you probably don't want to let them know something like that. But I understand where you're coming from. I understand why you thought that would be a good move. Here we go. Mixmaster D. 2 of the same controllers will conflict. Send the same MIDI signals. Now, if you can set the controllers to different MIDI channels, then it's fine. I use 2 Korg Nano pads on my Tractor DVS setup, each set up to another channel. Okay, so, but then again, they're not controlling the same thing, right, Mixmaster G? So you have 2 Nano pads, but they're controlling different things inside Tractor, right? If I'm understanding this. Flag Bateau says some DJs swear by standing on special mats. Like to use proper shoes and be aware of your posture. Yeah, the mats. Yeah, because I see you forgot the name. I don't know the name either, but there are mats that are used, like ergonomical mats that some offices use them as well. Like they have standing desks, but then they also have the mats. The type of footwear you wear can also help or restrict. Like I said, like sometimes you can look like you got brand new sneakers and you wear them because they look great, but then after a couple hours you start to feel like these are actually still a little bit too rugged, too tight, in the sense of that they're not worn in yet, and you start to feel it. So proper footwear can help, but I will swear, I will swear by just strengthening the body, the core, the back. Like that's one of the things I probably train the most. There goes the cam. 1 second. Yes, I'm on that cam again. Here we go. You should see me by now. Yeah. Sam says the Life Force book by Tony Robbins has an amazing insight on back pain. Love to hear more about that, actually. Burner, what up? What kind of computer do you use for streaming, Windows or Mac? I'm on a Windows computer. And I recently did do a live stream on Mac as well. That was when I was at home. And at home, I'm currently using an M1 Mac Mini. So I just found one of my old webcams, connected that. I have a Rode USB NT Mini microphone there. So I did a live stream using Mac. But in the studio, I'm on a Windows self-built PC that I use for DJing and streaming. So all the streams you see here, the Q&A streams and the DJ streams, are all on the same Windows system. So chat, Sam has a question. The Mackie Thump Go versus Line Array. Nice system, smaller parties, great sound. So if anyone has tried that, let us know. I say that because I have no experience with it. I have no idea. Some Tai Chi before a set is a good way to get the pain off and anxiety. I mean, yes, sure, I understand, but then again, if you have pain, then that can help you. But I like working out just took the back pain away, so I did not have any more back issues then. And Mixmaster D says, forgot about that, but my cure for back issues was back to swimming. And swimming is a great workout. I mean, it's not just cardio. It's a great workout. It's great for the muscles as well. And especially if you're heavier, I'm not saying you, but especially if you're heavier, swimming is great because it doesn't put a lot of pressure on your joints. Because I know a lot of people think that you need to start running, for instance. But if you're a big guy, running can be heavy on the joints, while swimming is perfect. I haven't done it in a while, and I love to just go swimming, do laps. It's great. How does everyone feel about 7-inch battle vinyls? I don't know. I don't think I have any 7-inch battle vinyl. And yeah, I mean, it also depends on what you do the rest of your time. Like, indeed, working standing up can help. So I have desks here. So the desk I'm sitting behind and this one right here are the same. This one is just bigger, and you can change them in height. They can be as low as 70 centimeters, but I can take them all the way up to 120. So if I have long days here, I can also elevate the desk so I can do part of the work standing and then sit again. Because if you're spending a lot of your time in the same position, especially if you're not paying attention to your posture, that's not helping your back either. But yeah, again, I love just I was in the gym this morning doing my back workout. It was back day today, so trying to strengthen that back even more. Tapiwa, ever heard of an African genre called Amapiano? Yes, indeed, I have. I mean, I cannot name artists, I can't name songs, but I've heard it. And I like it, but I know very little about it. But I've heard songs, and yeah, I like it. I keep looking. I need to flip this away for a second. even though I'm done streaming now, I keep looking at the screen instead of the lens. That's really annoying. I notice that I'm doing it. I just want to make sure when I look, I want to be looking right at you, not through you. So real quick, because I'm almost at that end, I'm going to give myself 6 more minutes and then we have to call it. And that's even longer than I wanted to stream because there's a ton of work lined up here. And we got to pay the bills. What do you think on moving to different places and having to play the type of music they like, but you're not used to it? How do you manage? Hot spin, I don't do that. Yep. I don't do that. I can totally understand that if you're moving places, you go to a different place, they might be used to totally different music. And you say it here, you started playing in Kenya and then you went to Qatar, then to China, and it's always complicated to play what they like. I mean, yes, especially, I played most of my gigs in the same country, and even from city to city, things can be different, but it's not going to be that different. If you move to a different country, for sure, there's going to be things you don't know about the culture and how they listen to music and what they like. And you're going to have to do research to see if that is going to fit what you do. Now, having said that, as a hip hop and R&B DJ, if I would go to a different country, I would still play hip hop and R&B. I would just have to make sure I do my research to see like, hey, what type of vibe are they on when it comes to hip hop and R&B? And hopefully that kind of falls in line with what I do. But I understand your situation. I just don't manage it because I don't find myself in a situation like that. And I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to have to like totally change my style. I don't want to. I couldn't. I just can't. Caleb, what's going on? Kenya again. So we got Kenya in the building today. And Jada Realist is here. Question is, what's your knowledge on having an electronic press kit? And are there websites, do you know, offhand that us DJs can visit? I mean, having an EPK is a good thing. So an electronic press kit is basically just like a, let's call it a digital sheet that can tell someone, or a one-pager website that can tell people everything they need to know about you as an artist or a DJ. So that's going to list the most important things they might need to know. So having a place where people can find that information is dope. It could be a personal website. There are, I forgot the name. I think there was like a website where you could easily make your own EPK. I don't remember if that means that you'll have a page on that site. So no, my mind is going blank right now. But I mean, let's be honest, like having an EPK is, I mean, yes, it's a good thing, but then again, you could just make sure that you just present your info on most of your social pages as well. At least give them some insight. And that could be, even if it's just that if they go to your Instagram or whatever, that you have like something like Mana or Linktree or link in bio, just some sort of link that can send them to a page where they on one page can at least see some pictures, links to your mixes, maybe links to live streams or live footage of you, maybe a short bio. There are ways to just make that happen. And of course, on certain pages, you can also make sure that the bio and a little bit more info is just already available on that social media page as well. So it doesn't have to be exactly like an EPK, but I do believe in some scenes it is still something that they may want to have. But I don't know. Like, I can't speak for the rest of the world. I mean, I know a lot of DJs here in the Netherlands don't really have an EPK. Nowadays, a lot of people just try to make sure that they have a social media presence. But it would be smart to have like the most essential info available online, so people don't have to think about what kind of DJ you might be. They should be able to just find that easily. Sloppy push-ups are also great for back challenges. Ooh, what's a sloppy push-up? Is that just like going all the way down to the floor and getting back up? I have no idea what a sloppy push-up is. I'm going to Google that if you don't tell me in the next minute. Straight six, salute. Am I working on backspin transition? I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't spin the track back, but it makes the song skip. DJ Ion, what equipment is that? Lucas Shaver's a machinist during the day, standing. Jada Riz with a question. Oh, that's the same question. Layback Luke also focuses on cardio in between his sets. Have you uploaded any beginner DJ transitions step-by-step tutorial? If that's a question for me, I mean, my mix tutorial is that. But I think you've already seen my mix tutorial series, right? So maybe you mean something a little bit different. All right, so it is 9:30. I need to cut it off. Okay, so you were using a reloop controller, DJI. Sometimes it makes a song skip. No, I'm not exactly sure. Like if you spin it back, it should just spin the track back. No, I don't know. Mad Live, salute, just in time. And Chris Rowley, I appreciate that. And Kuranga coming in from Portugal. Salute to you. We played Benfica yesterday. I don't even know what that the result of that match. Amsterdam, Ajax. We played Benfica yesterday, and I see Portugal. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, they played yesterday. That's how I do not follow football. I don't even know what happened yesterday. How do I stop my PTO1 platter from scraping the bottom? Yeah, I mean, those plastic platters, I mean, the best thing to do, Trap Vision, is to just get like a better platter. I still have my PTO1 Scratch like stock platter, and it's just a plasticky little thing, and you have great alternative upgrades where you get like a nice aluminum platter, which feels a lot better. So I think an upgrade would probably be the best option. Until you get the upgrade, you probably have to be like really sensitive with how much pressure you apply. At least that's what I found with mine. And if I compare that PTO1 Scratch to my Omni, that Omni has like the aluminum platter, I can press that as hard as I want to, and it won't scrape at all. All right, so I want to thank y'all for tuning in. My apologies that I can't stay the full 2 hours today. Got to get back to work. And if you have any questions that you didn't get to ask now, you can, of course, come back next week to ask them. You can also always just check me on, for instance, IG. Send your question there, or send me an email, sharethenowledge@djtlm.com. DJ Z, I have not forgotten you, even though I saw you all the way at the beginning. And this mic is here. I'll be using it for you right now. Yeah, Mixmaster G, I don't even have time to check the results of the elections either. So I just sent in my vote today, or I went in to vote today. I believe that's something we should always do. If you are living in a country where you have the right to vote, I feel you should vote. Even if you feel that your vote is not going to matter that much, blah, blah, I feel you should just at least do it. Having said that, I voted, but I'm not checking the results now. I got to go to work. So I'm gonna hear about that tomorrow on the radio or on the TV. But yeah, man, at least I have a red pencil. Mixmaster G will know what I mean. All right, Mad Live, Trap Vision, Kuranga, Mix Master G, Costa Rica, Fleboito, Kujini, DJ DJ Chris Rowley, DJ Kenobi, Jay the Realist, DJ Favor, T-Babs, Leonzo. Let me continue. DJ Kenobi, appreciate that follow. DJ Straight 6, Lucas Shaver, more. Sam, Josiah, Caleb, Hotspin, Burner. There were more. Salute to all of you. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and check me out on Monday. I'll be back on Monday with Crates, my weekly mix show. And this Monday I'll be doing, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to be doing a certified banger. So I'm going to get that energy in there. I don't know what I'll be using on Monday, so come check me out to see what I'm using. All right. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. See ya when I see ya. Peace.